This is very. This is very. Feels like some time is messed up. I don't know. In California, let me tell you, I had the runs, and I couldn't vote. But when I saw like hundreds of people throughout, the hours I went back and forth, getting groceries yesterday, and I couldn't vote, but I knew it was going to be bad for California. And to tell you truthfully, I don't like either side. I just want to say this, I don't like either side. I don't. They like to play off people, Democrats, Republicans, or politicians around the world. They promise you things, it never gets done. Why? So they can blame the other side and get reelected. That's why they don't get stuff done. They just don't. And so what happened in Texas happened in California. I foresaw this happening. I called it out. I said it's going to happen in California, it could happen in Oregon, it could happen in Washington, or whatever. And it's the fall of democracy when this happens. When politicians say, screw the federal government, president, whoever else. And when we made the Constitution and the 13 colonies, there's supposed to be independence, a certain amount of independence with the colonies and stuff like that. Not exactly to this extreme later on when the Constitution was made, as well as the executive branch, the judicial branch, and of course, Congress, legislative branch, etc. So it's really a mess the way things are right now. And I see things just getting worse. With my near-death experiences and stuff before that, I had psychic visions of what would happen to this country and other countries. I saw things happen. I saw possible futures, different branching futures, etc. I foresaw things happening. And it's crazy how much is happening right now. With stuff that I foresaw, and how immigration and stuff like that has changed the landscape and everything. So let's get here.
Not, bro, I could not deal with that.
Big, beautiful victory. The night it was, not expected to be a victory. It was very Democrat areas, but I don't think it was good for Republicans. I don't think it was good. I'm not sure it was good.
You got fucked. Y'all guys got fucked. You didn't bring home the bacon,
got
and people
up
were mad.
Caboose.
That's what happened. Yep.
For anybody.
I saw it as well, and the thing is, when the news is skewed, most of the news that people watch is skewed against Trump and immigration as well. The only reason why I voted for Trump was because of the illegals, the sex trafficking, all the criminals. That not everyone is a criminal that comes across. I know that, okay? Not everyone is bad at crosses, okay? But my ancestors, unless they're tribal, okay, are already here, okay, we had to go through a process of coming here and stuff. We got nothing for free. There's no food stamps. There's no health care or anything. And we have Americans that are in need of jobs. Illegals are getting jobs, taking our jobs and stuff like that. They're getting food benefits, they're getting free rent, they're getting housing and subsidies that Americans are supposed to have. It's supposed to be only for Americans and stuff like that. And you're supposed to go through a vetting process. Now, there's a lot of stuff I hate about Trump. I hate his AI stuff, where it's going to be phasing out humans as well. He's a big threat. Trump is a big threat to humanity. And where it's going, there's a lot of stuff I hate about too. He's just as much of a sociopath, and maybe even a psychopath, as any other president is, though. So,
but we had an interesting evening, and we learned a lot. And we're going to talk about that, and I'll say a few remarks, and then after that, I'll ask the press to leave. The press has been very, very nice to us the last couple of months. They were great to us in terms of the foreign visits with China, Japan, South Korea, Malaysia.
China #1.
And they were actually terrific. So I want to thank you for
Someone's
that.
going to come in and say, no, I have to say that. I got to make funny. Oh, God. Look at the games the Chinese are putting out, though, man. They're decimating us with that.
Back to your normal ways soon. But we did a great job over in China, and we've done a great job in turning off wars. We stopped 8 wars, and we have 1 to go.
Is he counting the console war between
He's counting a lot of them in his imagination, too. They think that they're going to come back. But anyways.
Xbox and PlayStation?
But we've done a great job, so it's really been
Is that part of it or not?
To do it, and I did it with many of the people in this room. Every one of you I know, and every one of you I like. I like our leaders. I like everybody. But I thought we'd have a discussion after the press leaves about what last night represented and what we should do about it, and also about the shutdown and how that relates to last night. I think if you read the pollsters, the shutdown was a big factor, negative for the Republicans.
We saw
that was a big factor, and they say that I wasn't on the ballot was the biggest factor. But I don't know about that. But
if he was on the ballot, a lot more people probably voted him out of office. And the thing is, though I voted for it because of illegal immigration and a couple other things, there's, like I said, a lot of stuff that I hate about Trump as well. I'm not blind. I know politicians personally. I've known some on both sides. They come into politics wanting to change things, make it for the better, and instead, they get caught in politics and they have to play the game. It's like, get into politics, you get into, no matter what side you're on, Democrat, Republican, or if you're in another country, you have to play politics, you have to play for the team in order to get your part done. It's like quid pro quo. You do something for us, we do something for you. If you don't, if you're not with us, you'd be left out and stuff. And there's a lot of people that I've seen go into politics, good intentions, and they come out like criminals, really. But like I said, he has not lived up to what we voted for. He has let a bunch of dictators in courts keep overruling him and stuff like that, which constitutionally they have no right to do. By Constitution, they have no right to do that. And so that pisses me off. He's tolerated that. Obama did tolerate the bullshit of other federal judges doing the same stuff. He says, fuck you, I'm going to do what I want, I'm the president. And Obama deported a lot more illegals than Trump ever will. Over 1 million or 3 million, something like that, I forgot how much. But it's very two-faced politicians and everything. He has gotten his shit done. I think a lot of these judges should be executed for treason. A lot of the politicians as well for letting, things happen that have happened. Because it affects us. All the crime that has gone into this, letting people get away with this. That's why I say people should be executed for this and stuff, letting this happen. Including especially these damn judges. Some of them are not, even exactly birthright, citizens either. But they're just radicalized and stuff. And he just, stupid Republicans are fucked up. And a lot of times they do this on purpose. They say, oh, we need to keep fighting about this so people can keep electing us. Keep electing us, and these sons of bitches should have their asses kicked out of office. Physically kicked out of office. I hate them. I got no respect for them. Because they're hurting us, the people. The politicians don't give a fuck about us. They don't. They have their own agendas. That's it. And I wish people would wake up to that. I really wish they would. It's not just one side, it's both.
I was honored that...
That's a huge problem, though. It is. That's a massive problem. If Trump is the only way that the GOP and the Republicans can win any election, then you're basically on a timer. That's a massive issue.
I said that. And I just want to thank everybody for being here. And a very special thanks to Vice President J.D. Vance, who's doing a terrific job. J.D., thank you very much. That has been working very hard, working really, I will tell you, nobody's working any harder representing the American people, including Senator John Thune. John, thank you. Great job.
You've got to have all the shout-outs at the beginning, of course.
Senator John Barrack.
It's crazy. Trump is the only person I know that has turned this stuff into a propaganda platform and stuff like that. Me, I did this, I did that. It seems like he's just totally obsessed with himself and everything, which I really hate. He should be a team player. It should be about, doing stuff for the people. Including this Nobel Peace Prize BS that he's trying to do. I deserve this. You don't deserve shit. Because all it is about self-serving for your own fucked up ego. And that's why you don't get the Nobel Peace Prize. You don't do things for selfish intent. And that's what a lot of what he's doing is.
Also, John, thank you very much. Senator Tom Cotton, wherever you may be, Tom. Thank you. Thank you, Tom. Thank you.
Listen, you sexy freak, get
Senator
to it.
Shelley Moore Capito, who's been very involved. Thank you, Shelley. Senator James Lankford from one of my favorite states.
They're going to vote against you. Just period. I think that's how it's going to be.
That's now officially the longest shutdown in American history. The Democrat radicals in the Senate.
It looks pretty bad that the Republicans have the shutdown. How do you control the executive branch, the Congress, and the House of Representatives, and also the Senate? And this
is the thing. You have these dumbass piece of shit judges doing everything that's against the Constitution. They're radicals. They're radicals. And they should be executed for stuff they're doing. They're letting all this, criminal acts keep on going. Murderers, molesters, rapists go out on the streets and stuff like that. Sex trafficking. You have human trafficking. You have 300,000, 500,000 kids that are missing. And these pieces of shit rogue judges don't give a rat's ass about them. And what they're doing is unconstitutional, totally unconstitutional, is what they're doing. Okay, the president has full authority in what he's doing. The only people, except when you talk about the Insurrection Act, when you go talk about the Insurrection Act, that he's had more than enough evidence. I don't know. I mean, this is just ridiculous. What is happening? And the courts don't have any right. The president is supposed to make these decisions for the country. Judges are not. They're supposed to just go by, local and federal laws, stuff like that. But they don't have any right to be telling the executive branch, what to do. There's a certain amount of things that cost, of powers between the branches, and it has to go between the legislative and the executive. Like, the courts can't just say, you can't put troops here, you can't put troops there, exactly. It's in the wording of the Constitution where you're supposed to put an Insurrection Act. At the same time, he's had more than enough evidence to do that.
Because of the Democrats. I do. I think it's very hard to push that, especially whenever people lose their food stamps. This is what I think lost Trump 2020, is that when you fucked with people's day-to-day lives, they're going to vote against you. Just period. I think that's how it's going to be.
Yeah.
And I think that whenever COVID fucked with people's lives, people voted against Trump.
Well, a lot of COVID stuff was faked. A lot of that was faked. A lot of stuff with COVID. And I had people close to me die of COVID, and they had underlying health issues. And the government said, put it under death by COVID. It wasn't COVID. There's underlying health issues that people already had as well with a lot of this stuff. And you have all this propaganda, all this BS come out, making COVID a lot worse than it was. COVID made things worse. I had COVID plenty of times. I was getting near death's door myself with COVID. And know people that die from that and stuff like that. But they never, they swept all this evidence under the rug with so many people die from underlying health issues and stuff. And so, I mean, not only that, but the news, how they skewed it, they don't like Trump either. So they're going to skew it that way. And all the stuff that you hear on the news is propaganda. It's not truth. No matter where you get it from, whether it's right or left. It's all skewed. It's propaganda.
Wasn't for COVID, I think Trump would have won again in 2020.
I think so.
Zero interest in reopening the government, and I don't think they'll act so soon. A lot of people disagree.
The food stamps are a minor version of that.
The last 30 days, we've had 4 or 5 different points. Yes, sir, they're going to get it right now. We should have it done in a day. I've heard that about 4 times. I heard it after Kings. They said I was a king. And I heard it after Kings. I heard it after a couple of other moments in time. And I said, no, I don't believe so.
Yeah.
And now I heard it's after the election. I don't believe so. I think they will. I think they're kamikaze pilots. I just got back from Japan. I talked about the kamikaze pilots. I think these guys are kamikaze. They'll take down the country of that. And I will say about SNAP benefits.
The SNAP thing
when I was president, we had $7 billion worth, and now they have many times that, because these benefits were given to anybody that asked. And they're up to, I hear, just many times, 47 billion. So it wasn't the purpose of
the problem is that after COVID, here's the issue, is that the COVID recession happened, and a bunch of people went on food stamps during COVID.
Everybody, people were losing their jobs and everything. They had to stay home. I started seeing, that they hated the people they loved, were forced, stay home. When we shouldn't have all had to stay home. It was all bullshit. So much of it was a bullshit scam, though. I mean, listen, I've had it, so I know it's real. I'm not saying that. I'm just saying that people with underlying effect from it. I did. I had heart problems. I had asthma, all this other stuff. So, I mean, they just wanted to say that all this was COVID and stuff like that. And it's a lot different than how the news put out.
And then when the economy improved on paper, it didn't improve in practice.
It did.
A lot of those people never really got off of food stamps. That's
everybody is still, I mean, that's the thing. It's like, if you are making some money, a couple thousand, how many people have in the household, X amount of thousands, you can still get 25 food stamps or a couple hundred. And there are people that live off food stamps that shouldn't be either. And this also caused an issue with stupid ass Trump and his AI cut from that. I expect people to work if AI is also going to cut human jobs. There's going to be more people. The future is this. More people are going to live off government checks. So get your fucking asses together. Get rid of AI. Do all this. Make laws to stop AI from cutting people's jobs, make it illegal. But they don't give a shit about the people. If politicians on other sides give a shit about the people, they would do stuff to protect the people. Like stopping AI from, taking people's jobs, including games, and say what we buy, what we pay for.
Happened, I think.
That was for
it never
people
came up,
that really had problems, down and out, people that really had problems. But during Biden, they gave it to anybody that wanted it. I think it's something you have to talk about because the numbers are incredible.
Well, this is the thing. If you did give people state resources, there would be an armed revolt. You guys would be probably just about dead and everything else. You guys, I mean, there would be a big revolt. You guys had to do something. You guys know this. You know psychology. You know how Americans can get, how there's rioting in the streets and everything. Yeah. There wasn't a reality, but it's true. They're doing more stuff to harm us than anything.
Like so abstract that it doesn't really matter.
And AI is taking our jobs, you cunt. You piece of shit. They're fucking us over, you're fucking us over. Stop your fucking shit when the economy is doing better. It's shit right now. It is shit. The rich will get richer, the poor will get poorer.
Stock market as of Friday has hit many record highs during the last 9 months, many.
Yeah.
And it will again. This is just the beginning because when these plants that are being built right now start opening up, we've never had anything like this as a boom.
Who
There's
cares?
a construction
Yeah.
boom right
Who
now, but
gives a
that's going to
shit?
be
Yeah.
bigger than that. That's going to be an economic boom as soon as they open up.
$5 trillion. No company should have that. They need to give stuff back to the people. They should be forced to. No company should have $1 trillion. And I mean, this is crazy. I think that with stupid Western society is too much into capitalism. And that creates evil when people are just thinking about bucks, money. It creates evilness and everything else. It's something that I don't like.
And it's going to be something special. We have car companies coming in. When I was in Japan, Toyota, Mr. Toyota, I said, "What's your name?" "Toyota." I said, "Oh, you're rich."
That's all he thinks about is
I
rich.
said, "How much of the company do you own?" 92.1%. I said, "I'm glad you said one." He wants to be. I said, "You're a rich guy." And
Yeah,
he said,
Mr. Toyota.
"I'm investing $10 billion in the U.S."
And my dad used to call it Toyota. And I miss my father. I have a lot of guilt where I feel like killing myself a lot of times. with that because I wish I could have done more for my mother and father and how bad, I treated him years ago. But I remember him calling it that and would try to correct him. And that's actually one of the most beautiful things about him is that he would mispronounce it. He did on purpose. Just to get, that rise out of us.
And you know who I'm talking about, right? You introduced me, Mr. Senator.
Called Toyota.
You introduced me originally when you were the ambassador to Japan. He's still good. He's still strong. But he had no interest in investing in this country. Now he's investing $10 billion as of 1 week ago.
That's great.
Building new plants. We have auto plants coming in incredibly.
What about the people on the streets? What about us? What about the other people that, where's this going for social programs, veterans, mental health? And it's not. You see corporate people just making money. The rich getting richer, poor getting poorer. And it's not going to get any better. It's not.
But we have AI and all of them. And
AI.
We can't be extorted to give $1.5 trillion to people that came into the country illegally, many from prisons, many drug dealers. A lot of people came in from mental institutions.
I was one of them.
They want to give a lot of money to the people that came in illegally.
Wait.
We have to get them out. We can't. No country
I
can
probably should be
sustain
saying that on the air.
That's like an attack on our country. And no country. These are not going to be productive people. These are going to be anti-productive people.
Yep.
And we can be all
Speak for yourself.
Have a bigger heart than anybody, but we can't let that happen. It's time for Republicans to do what they have to do, and that's terminate the filibuster. It's the only way you can do it. And if you don't terminate...
No, you dumbass idiot. You do that, the Democrats will do that to Republicans. It'll go back and forth. That's the thing, is that both sides are so radicalized and have so much hate for each other, is that they refuse to work on common ground for the American people. The Democrats want to see more money get funneled to illegals as well in their social programs. And the news says it's the Republicans' fault. And to be honest, both sides are at fault for not being willing to try and get along with each other.
Terminate the filibuster, you'll be in bad shape. We won't pass any legislation.
If they listen
There'll be
to
no
you,
legislation passed for 3.25. We have 3.25 years, so it's a long time. But when they can't do an extension,
don't do it.
And John, I think
Don't.
they've done an extension every single time they've ever been asked forever. This is the first time they haven't done an extension. Extensions are supposed to be easy, but if they won't do an extension, they won't do any bill, even a simple bill. And we should do our own bills. We should get out. We should do
If
our own.
there are people in government jobs, they're doing their jobs and they don't have to exactly do it. They're not getting paid and stuff like that. Unless somebody can tell me differently. They're not all getting paid. It's like, why work for the government at this point if the government doesn't have your back? It doesn't matter what side of the aisle you're on. What matters, does the government have my back? Are they going to be there to protect me, to give me health care, to give me payment, to pay me? I got a family, I got family get sick, I got family that have cancer, or whatever. I could be sick, and the government does not have my back.
Our own bills. We should open up. We should start tonight with the country's open. Congratulations. Then we should pass voter ID. We should pass no mail-in voting. We should.
That's
pass
what they should have done at the beginning. Like, how's this? Like that.
Republicans are full of shit. They say that they want to do something. They just want to continue fighting about it. They made these bullshit promises before. Same with Republicans, Democrats, history on these things. The reason why they don't do this and fix things is so they can continue to argue about these things and get reelected. And they say, oh, you get reelected, so get it done. Fuck you, bitch. You haven't done a damn fucking thing for us. Neither of you have done shit for us. So go hate yourselves.
I completely agree with this. So actually, I don't agree with mail-in voting. I think that you should be able to do mail-in voting. But I do agree with voter ID. Like the idea that you don't.
Not everybody can go and physically and vote. I know that there's voter fraud. I know that very well. Not everybody's able to go and vote. Okay? I found it been too sick. I've been too sick at times and stuff like that. And so, being able to go and vote is a good thing. We need to be able to have a verification system that you're an actual citizen.
You don't have to submit an ID and show that you're a citizen to vote is fucking insane to me. Like, I don't understand the argument against it, if you want me to be honest.
The destruction of democracy is the destruction of this country. If any illegal or anybody casting a false ballot or pretending to be somebody and casting somebody else's ballot in somebody else's name, that is the perfect, definition of destruction of democracy. It's when, people that are supposed to be here vote, or people that could be fraud, pretend to be somebody else, is voting, and pretend to be a person.
Honest. I really just mail-in vote. Yeah, I don't. It's too easy to rig. Maybe it is. I mean, personally, but like I think voter ID for me is like something that I'm like completely convinced on. Mail-in voting, I'm not totally convinced on. Mail-in voting for military, I think. Well, I mean, I would say like mail-in voting for people that are, maybe disabled or other people that might not have the ability to vote for whatever reason to get to a polling station. I think that's fine. Like that's the way it should be, right? But should everybody have mail-in voting? I mean, I don't know, maybe not. But I think the idea of it makes sense. Like I don't know.
All the things that we want to pass, make our election secure.
Honestly, like my opinion is that I think that if mail-in voting favored Republicans, all of the Republicans would not say it was rigged. That's the truth. I think they're just saying it's rigged because mail-in voting generally favors Democrats. It's just what my opinion is. Sorry.
Say because California is a disaster. Many of the states are disasters. But can you imagine when they vote almost unanimously against voter ID? All we want is voter ID. You go to a grocery store, you have to give ID. You go to a gas station and you give ID.
Yeah.
But for voting, they want. Sway, because I know we have a lot of, not a lot, I'd say half feel this way, maybe a little bit less than half, and it's time to have a really good talk. If I thought that they weren't going to pass the filibuster, I wouldn't even bring it up. They're going to pass it within the first hour. If they take power, and it's more likely that they take power if we don't do it, because we're not going to be passing any legislation. They're not going to approve anything. We're going to go 3.25 years.
He's right about this, yeah. You either do it or they're going to do it.
There won't be one bill that we're going to pass. Because the easiest thing to pass is exactly right now what they won't pass. And they'll do that, and they'll wreak havoc. But let's assume they get in. They're doing it anyway, so it wouldn't matter. They're doing it anyway. And, I have a case.
You've got to push it, of course. Voting is an obligation more than a right. I think it should be mandatory to vote. What do you think? Man.
That's the thing. You that is the die that you cast. You are voting by not voting. You make it well known. This is something that news doesn't talk about because they put this in and they blame voters against them. And they want their side to win so they can blame the voters. The thing is, a lot of voters, like me, have the IQ and the intelligence to know that both sides are full of bullshit. Anyways, I said my piece on this. I think that, let me see here.
Apparently, The Witcher 4 is, well, you know, so bad it got cooked. It did. It got completely cooked. It's totally dead.
It's like a fucking fat boy, dude. Looks like a girly girl. What the fuck do you expect?
Previously on...
Princess Cirilla!
Where's the girl?
Where's Siri?
Oh! Oh!
Okay.
He's looking for Siri. I need to find Siri. Where is Cirilla? Have you seen Cirilla?
Siri! Siri!
Where are you, Siri?
Siri, Siri, are you here?
Gay!
We're looking for Siri.
Is he gay?
Siri.
I didn't get that far.
Let me tell you, this makes me laugh because I had a friend, alright? And Jimmy, he would talk to me and Chris, he'd come in and just make things jokes, make things funny. He'd say, well, what about you? What about you? You know, the girl's going, time to go gay. The girl's going gay. The girl's going, might as well just go gay. It's gonna happen. We're like, Jimmy, the only one that's gay right now is you. It's like, you're with this loner in and out. It's like, maybe you should look your talent in your own life. It's like, we don't care if you are, we don't. But it's like, you're the one that's preaching gay. And he said, Donald, the girl's going gay. I told everybody just go gay. Right now, just go with the wind. Or whatever, like, what the fuck? Listen, I don't care if a person is gay or not. I don't care if they're trans or what I do have beef about is taking somebody's creation in a way so rapey it or whatever. And I make creations, I have IPs, properties, stuff like that. And that's what happens, like the raping of our stuff. When somebody takes it and twists it, you know, for their own, you know, twisted agenda. It's like, and the thing is, you know, I've got bisexual stuff, you know, stories, stuff like that, media, and everything, you know. A lot of girlfriends that I have are bi and stuff like that. I love women that love women. I don't care if a guy likes guys, I don't give a shit as long as they don't try to get me to do anything. My beef is when you take somebody else's creation and fuck it around. It's like, in a way, because I call it raping because somebody takes a part of my soul, my creation, and they just fuck it up the ass and everything. And for somebody stupid says, have you ever been sexually assaulted? Yes, I have. And stuff like that. So somebody bounce off and get your ass to the top. But anyways.
A lot of screaming, huh? Coming up. Wow. I can't wait to watch this show.
Siri disappeared.
Siri.
Anything to get Siri back, right?
Actually, I'm a lesbian.
Geralt, have you had any more wild dreams about...
news, man, this is the problem with Netflix. It's like, listen, I have lesbians, I have gays, I have bisexuals. I have under my own creation. I don't use somebody else's creation and fuck it all up. It's like a raping of somebody's creation. That's what it is. Because I put my soul, my blood into it. This is why people should never sell their creation. Never. Because they will, put DEI type stuff into it. And this is for somebody that puts bisexual stuff and sex into it. That creates X-rated content as well. Alright? This is what it's like. I think a lot of ladies I know, especially in porn, are saying, what the fuck is your problem? My problem is that you don't take somebody else's property, somebody else's creation, and piss and shit on it. Make your own creation. It's yours. It's fucking sacred. It is holy. It is pure poetry work. It will turn. I agree with that. I had a very good day. Yes, I did. But anyways, this is somebody else's and stuff like that.
Anything to get Siri back, right?
Actually, I'm a lesbian.
Girl, have you
No, I don't think that was
wild
it.
dreams about Siri?
Has he told you about Siri, Regis?
What if I can't save her?
Well, there's still no sign of Siri.
About
I've
Siri?
got to say that the one thing
Has he
that
told you about Siri, Regis?
I do think that Lawrence Fishburne, I think he looks good as Regis. I think he does. Even though it's a race swap, it's a race swap with a well-known established actor. I would never complain about this. This is fine. He was good, yeah.
I don't care what you say. I tell all this. It's just the race swap does the racist thing to do.
What if I can't save her?
Well, there's still no sign of Siri.
We know Siri is connected.
I'm a lesbian.
Siri.
He's too good for the show.
Siri is what we all need. Everyone wants Siri. I do want to save Siri.
Lesbian.
Find Siri.
God damn.
Want Siri. Siri will be safe.
I need to protect Siri.
Find Siri.
Wait, where's Siri? Siri is still at risk.
So everybody wants to sleep with Siri. Is this what's about? Everyone wants to get in Siri's realities? Is this what it's about? That's the bad right there. The guy that got down with the fat boy. He is.
I love how everybody, it's like this show, like The Witcher 3 was made around Ciri, but it wasn't really, like, she wasn't the main character. Like, she was like the main plot device, but she wasn't the main.
Siri was the second focus. It's all about saving Siri. So it's like you have the Witcher 4 game, and a lot of people are pissed that it's going to be about her. But that's the way that they made it. So I don't see the big deal about Siri being the main focus. Let me tell you, I make powerful female characters. I made porn stars strong female characters. Very powerful. I've also made men strong, powerful characters. Let me talk about a pussy, a guy that's a pussy. That's all feminized and stuff like that. If you have a fat boy, he's just there as a little toy, you can have it on the side. But, I mean, the thing is, a real boy wants a real man. Unless he's just there to have, just because. And everything. And,
character. Geralt was the main character.
.com.
I don't know how people don't
Greetings to over
understand
1
that.
million lovers of all things good and dislikers of all things bad, and the 40% who haven't subscribed yet. It goes without saying, but I'll say it anyway, that Netflix's The Witcher will go down in the annals of pop culture history as just another epic fantasy adaptation completely destroyed by ego, hubris, modernity, the message.
When was the last time that a fantasy show came out and it was good? When was the last time? No, not Fallout. Like Arcane, Game of Thrones. So the beginning of Game of Thrones. So like over 15 years ago. Okay. Yeah, not so good, huh? Oh yeah. You know what? People do like House of the Dragon. That's true. People do like that.
And a clear disdain for the source material. And that was before season 4 premiered. But now that it is upon us, the only thing keeping this in the zeitgeist of pop culture is people continuing to marvel that this show is still being made. And what a journey.
There's something that doesn't make sense when she was kicking ass. If this was Cena, Warrior Princess, that's the one I can get behind and say that she could be kicking some of these guys' asses. Okay, Lucy Lawless is a powerful bitch. She is strong, she is powerful, etc. I mean, but this series, let me tell you, even if it was for no martial arts, I mean, she's not as believable as, say, Lucy Lawless is in kicking ass.
It has been to get here. When The Witcher premiered way back in 2019, it was well received by the audience, and there were more than a few outlets and fans.
I don't know why Netflix would have even continued with it, because like it's only going to damage their brand and make them look bad. Like you probably should be paying money to not have it shown.
Saying that The Witcher could be the heir apparent to Game of Thrones. Unfortunately, it was all downhill from there. Henry Cavill, prior to season 2, in the kindest way possible, tried to warn us that showrunner Lauren Schmidt is
taking themselves off on that Nokia, saying, "Oh, I see this guy's Game of Thrones." Oh my God.
Was going to stray from the source material.
The showrunner has a particular vision for the show and for the characters in the show. The books, certainly the first few, is very much from a Geralt perspective. With the shift of the showrunner's vision, where it's an ensemble.
He's so political about it, but it's so obvious what's going on. It's so obvious what he's trying.
I mean, the thing is, I make my own creations, alright? I don't take somebody else's, okay, and I can have, let's say I can have whatever it is, a bike or whatever. That's my creation. I don't take somebody else's and fuck it up. There's the right way of doing things and the wrong way of doing things. You know, so, I mean, I'm not back and forth. It's just that's the way it should be done.
Trying to say.
Costs more so.
So I guess most people don't have the place to do that. They're retards. So they have to take somebody else's creation and fuck it all up. People that have a mind that like you, like me, can create their own, vision and stuff like that.
Within a singular lead, and the perspective is shifted to be almost more of a Cirilla Yennefer perspective. It's about finding my character's place within that vision and making sure that I do everything I can to be as faithful to the source material as possible that I can be within the structure set out for me.
And what did you...
What a reasonable thing to say, too. Like, yeah, it's not the way I want it to be, but I'm going to try to do my best to fit in and do the best job.
Respect to the creators, respect and honoring them. Instead of pissing shit on their creation.
I can do. That's, yeah, exactly.
You know what? The Witcher Season 2 strayed from the source material,
It
turning
sure
The
did.
Witcher into the Yennefer. And unsurprisingly, the ratings and the audience scores went down. And then everybody started calling out everybody.
I love how, everybody thought that the show about a Giga Chad with a sword is gonna be like, oh wow, why aren't girls watching this? And so what does he do? He saves women and he kills monsters? Oh. And people stopped watching.
Well, some of the stuff I saw the monsters were about to kill him. In season 4, this stuff, he was overpowered pretty down easily. A hero is supposed to be powerful, strong, not just in physical terms, smart, or she has to be smart as well. They have to be mentally fit and strong as well. They don't want somebody that can just lose easily and have women beat the shit out of them and make fun of them. Okay?
When you made it about the girl instead? Oh, right, okay. Wow.
Including former X-Men 97 and Witcher writer Bo DeMeo calling out Hisrich and her team for openly mocking the source material in the writer's room. Hisrich calling out Henry Cavill, Andrei Sapkowski, the creator and writer of The Witcher, calling out Lauren Hisrich.
Maybe I gave them some ideas, but they never listened.
Where Hisrich and her team took time off.
So apparently, recently he also commented about The Witcher 4. I just want to pause and show this because I don't know if I can find it quickly, but if I can, I'll show you. So he did comment about The Witcher 4, and he said that basically they don't really ask him for advice anymore, and he thinks it's better that way. He's happy that they don't ask him for advice. It looks like I can't really find it. I don't really know where it was. But yeah, that's it. So they used to ask him a lot, not so much anymore. And The Witcher School, how much must be dreamed? He's done? Yeah, he's done, bro. He's finished. He finished it. That was out of context, by the way, was it?
Bastardizing the lore of the book so they could pervert the lore of the game. And this can't be undersold, turning the leader of the Wild Hunt, the very formidable Aridin, into a sad gay man. After that, season 3 came out.
He's sad and gay? Aridin's gay? What? Why's he gotta be gay? Like, I mean, Sauron could have been gay in The Lord of the Rings. We don't need to know. Why do you even need to know that?
This is the thing. If I make a creation, I make a gay, lesbian, bi, or whatever. That's my creation. I'm making stories. It's not going to be about their sexuality. You can't make, if you make an IP, you make a TV series, make movies. It's about their sexuality. That could be just a fail. You're not going to have a big market for that. There's a small niche that's going to be interested in that. They want something else. They want a plot. They want a different type of story. It's like certain days, certain night. Who gives a shit? Where's the story? Are you on Earth or another planet? Are you fighting against a political social cause? Are you fighting against a political system? You have to create a real story. And, I could go over westerns, I've done romance stuff, I've done erotica, all kinds of stuff. It's not all about sexuality, unless I tell you the hot stuff. You need to have a good story. Now, you talk about certain people that were also gay in Hollywood way back, 50s, 60s, and, etc. And you don't give a shit whether they were gay or not. You care whether the movie or the television series had a good story. I never cared Paul Ben, very
and there was another dramatic loss in viewership. And it's at this point the show was essentially dead. But Hollywood, being no stranger to reanimating the corpse of a franchise only to defile it, carried
Make
on
it worse.
and announced
Yes.
poor Liam Hemsworth would be the replacement for
guy.
Henry Cavill, and I hope he got a lot of money. Then things went quiet for a good long while until
he was never, even if he did a great job, it was everybody was already primed to think it was going to be awful. Like I think he shouldn't have taken the role, if you want me to be honest. I think it was a mistake for him to have done that, because now people are going to compare him. To Henry Cavill, and they're always going to set himself up to. To fail. I have one cream soda. Look at this. Wow.
Just over a month before
Big
the
agent
release
mistake?
of season 4, Netflix decided to drop
Huge
a clip
agent
and a
mistake.
trailer. Both were ratioed into oblivion. But it doesn't
Jesus.
end there, because every single promotional post on every social media platform was essentially ratioed into oblivion. And then they made the worst
That's right.
mistake possible, actually releasing the show. And let's just
I
say,
don't know why they released it. They should have just canceled it.
the response hasn't been spectacular. If you go over to Rotten Tomatoes, it's got a 60% from the corporate critics, largely padded by
you don't even any sort of critic review isn't real, because critics are biased, and there is a social expectation that you're going to rate movies and shows in certain ways based off of criteria that doesn't necessarily matter to the average audience member. And I think that's the big difference. IGN likes the show. Well, that's fine. But what I'm saying is that a lot of people obviously don't like this type of content. But the problem is that inside of the professional space, there is a tremendous professional pressure for people to continue giving good reviews and not taking any of the criticism from, the toxic internet seriously and applying it to the shows themselves. There's a huge amount of burying your head in the sand. We're going to just give it the review without even thinking about it. It's a real problem. It is. Like, never trust any sort of industry reviewer about anything, because they are all peer pressured to give certain opinions and to measure their opinions against the political climate of their industry. If you want to listen to an actual real person's opinion, go and look at the actual user reviews or go watch a YouTube video, because at least those people are honest in what they believe.
you've never heard of, but if you go over to the top critics, it's at 33%, and Metacritic has it at about a 60.
Well, Metacritic, it's a 1.9. I think we should just get rid of critic reviews. They're worthless. Like, why is somebody qualified to watch a TV show and
based on political sociological reading and stuff like that. Anyways, I want to move on from this.
They rigged the election. Oh, I see. So basically what happened is that, yeah. So these are the different parties, and you can run for multiple parties. So the Protect Animals Party and also the Republican Party nominated Curtis Silva, and the Working Families Party, I'm assuming, and then also the Democratic Party nominated Zoran Mandami. Is that accurate? Zoran? It's Zoran, I'm pretty sure. Yeah, Zoran. Yeah, this is a intentional misunderstanding. And let's see if I can find any more of this here. And so, and this kind of stuff, by the way, this stuff to me is very, very frustrating for me to see, because it's just misinformation. It's intentional misinformation. If you designed a ballot to confuse voters on purpose, it would look exactly like this one. They asked for voter ID, right? Is this confusing? I will say this. I think that this is just my opinion, but I think having the same person on the ballot twice is really confusing to people, and you should only have one person on the ballot for each party. Like, you shouldn't be able to have the same person on for multiple parties at the same time. Like, it is confusing. I think it's just bad design, right?
I say vote for twice, or it's like they're trying to say that this person deserves twice as many votes as the other ones. That's what seems to be implied, that this person deserves twice as many votes, so we're putting this person on there.
Right? They definitely didn't try to make it easy. Yeah, exactly, right? Which version of Zoran wins? Well, it probably gets combined, right? But it's just confusing for people to see it. But the instructions explained it. The instructions explain this. Have you ever talked to a person? Like, have you ever talked to a person? You really think you're gonna just, it's explained to them. That doesn't matter. They're retarded. The average person is retarded. So you can't expect that to happen. Incorrect IDs aren't required, but address confirmation and signature are. Zoran is on twice because the nominee for both Democratic parties. Yeah, like, I think that just in general, having the same nominee on there for multiple times is confusing for voters, because they're going to start thinking, well, should I vote for this one, or should I vote for this one, or should I vote for this one, or should I vote for this one? It's just very confusing for people, right? And I think that overall you shouldn't have that, because it's just confusing. And I get that obviously for a lot of people it's not confusing, and if you have above a room temperature IQ, you immediately see what's going on here. But at the same time, it doesn't really matter, right? Let me go back and see if I can find the rest of this. Just exposed New York City's election fraud as a fraud to his followers. No ID is required. Is that true? Let me see if I can find it. As we approach election day, just remember it's time for residents to remember. I mean, I don't really see how playing the 9/11 clips is just not really gonna work, man. It's just not. Zoran was like 9 years old when this happened. It's not like he was supporting 9/11. He actively said that he didn't support Hassan at a debate. A debate. He actively said that. I mean, what more do you want him to do? Muslims died to win it? Yeah. Okay. Well, anyway, so American brains are fried. I understand that a lot of people have criticisms of Muslims or of Islam, etc., but I don't really think this is a very strong point to make. I just don't think so. I'm sorry, I don't think so. Our election is rigged. No ID is required. If you don't need an ID to vote, that's retarded. I'm sorry. I think that is absolutely fucking retarded. You should 100% need an ID to vote. Yeah, it's rigged. Yeah, I mean, what do you mean you don't have an ID to vote? Yeah, what is this? Also, your Twitter algorithm is mad racist? I mean, I don't know about that. I mean, I'm sure other people are going to get different versions of it. But I do wish, by the way, you're bringing up a very good point. I wish that there was an aggregation system on Twitter that just showed the most talked about and the most popular things in terms of in terms of a topic rather than things that were based off of an algorithm. So instead of like, they should have a for you and also a top instead of just a top. So like the for you would be, it would be tailored specifically to your algorithm, and then the top would be the actual top posts discussing the topic. So that's in my opinion, right? That's what I think they should do. So a general version, yeah, exactly, right? And that way people aren't confused. They don't know what they know what's going on, etc., right? That's my opinion. I could be wrong about this, but that's still my opinion. But anyway, let's go back over here. Top is top for you. Yes, exactly. But it should not be that. And let me go back. Let's see if I can find a few more of these here. Meanwhile, it's New York election day in New York City. This is just, bro, like, oh my god. Oh man.
You're actually creating more hate in a lot of ways. And it's like, I hate maybe it's just because tribal shit, but you can put that in there, and I don't like how this law is towards women and Sharia law. It's a cancer. It needs to be totally destroyed. But you know, it's just aspects of Christianity, parts of Christianity, Catholicism, and even some, streams of Judaism and stuff like that. It seems like maybe everything is Buddhism or something.
Zoran Mandami is listed twice on the ballot. Well, let's see what the odds for him winning are. Let's pull it up. $400 million have been invested. Or I don't know, like wagered, I guess maybe, on the New York mayoral election. And he couldn't do 100 bench press. Well, I remember seeing that, the Zoran bench press thing. That was, definitely, I think that affected him probably more than a lot of other things did. I think that probably affected him more than calling him Calmania does, right? I mean, like, I would say so. And let me see if I can find this. Massive turnout in New York City so far. Over 450,000 election day votes. On track to end up with 2 million plus total. All else equal, it should benefit Cuomo. That's accurate, actually. Usually, people that are, like, I would say, like, Cuomo is, like, I think he's also...
There's definitely something wrong with this. But you see Curtis on there twice. So, other countries and stuff like that. And they come over here, got their extremist radical ideas. Anyways.
Welcome to Paris. This is the Paris they don't show you on TV.
No, you can't tell this is Paris. This is Lomé or Côte d'Ivoire or some place in Africa, bro.
That's Paris? Oh, I can tell by the words. There's a lot of black people there. Yep.
It's like I'm in Nigeria or Africa or something. What the fuck is this? You like Paris, bro? No, bro.
Wait a minute.
This is the thing that pisses me off. And this is part of my vision that I used to have, like, so like psychic visions, I have possible futures, and this is the politicians' fault. They should be hanged for allowing this shit to happen. This stuff. Is that they've allowed the total destruction of culture happen in the UK, Ireland, Scotland, Europe, Australia, New Zealand, and let, culture, and that'd be white culture or whatever. If I go to Africa, I want to see black people. I want to see how they live. I don't want to see stupid white people. I don't want to see Asian people, or Latino people over there. You go to Africa, you go to China, you go there to see, Africans, you go there to see Chinese people, etc. You go to Korea to see Koreans. You don't go there to see black people, white people. You go there to see different culture, not the same shit. America, there's all kinds of different cultures. And the thing is, in America, it's bad. It's bad because there are too many factions hating on each other now, and too many, creates, too many splinter factions of hate, and a lot of that. And a lot of people, they want people, to live by their own values. The way this country is right now, it's way too splintered, it's way too fractured. In Europe, in Paris, this ain't Paris, motherfucker. This is like Africa.
So this guy went to Paris to get away? No
Get
shot.
away from these people.
Oh no.
This is a real Paris.
Wow. Paris is full. I don't know. I don't know how a lot of them got there. I have no idea.
Paris.
It's the Paris they don't show on TV. I guess so.
Nice. So here is the
Oh my
African
God.
town of Paris.
Wow. Well, there it is, guys. Look at the dent on the guy's forehead. And
All of Europe is totally destroyed, pretty much. Because its guys, politicians, have totally destroyed it. They have totally destroyed Europe. I don't want to see white people, Latino or Asians, destroy, parts of Africa or China or other Asian countries. I don't. We're supposed to preserve people's cultures. It's what makes them unique. But you do this, you destroy the culture. Paris is destroyed. Always. And that includes the UK as well. And it just totally allowed them to take everything over.
And yeah, illegally? I mean, I guess so. I mean, I have no idea if these people are here legally or not. I mean, I think probably it's a mix.
It's different over in Europe. It's not about being there illegally, they're allowed to be there and stuff. And in my visions, like I saw with politicians, this is like 20 years ago. Well, 25, 20 years ago. I saw where politicians would get sick of their own people, white people, and they would start treating other destroy each other's community and make it their own. Now, if it was about conforming and becoming one, nation, and fraternity, and that, it'd be a lot different. But these people come, they take it over and totally fucks everything up.
But yeah, I don't know what's going on over in Europe. It sure seems like they have a lot of migrants there. I'll tell you that.
You feel like the UK is becoming an anti-white country?
Yeah,
you're not wrong. If you're a teacher in Wales, you get paid $5.
I mean, black people have abused white people, raping them, murdering them. They get lined up. White person does something, or says something that goes against immigrants, etc. Then they face up to 5 years prison time. There are more people serving time in the UK on speech than in Russia. More people, because this cunt Starver, this piece of shit that should be hanged for what he's done to that country. These people in his party has done to that country.
Welsh government offers 5,000 more to student teachers from ethnic minorities. And this is actually from the government.
People there that have been in these countries forever. The white population is now killing off the white population. Is what it's about. If people do their research and stuff like I saw this is a possible future. This started happening, 25 years ago. This stuff started happening. I saw different possible futures. And I saw stuff happening in China, how things would be forced over there, in other countries, and how it's like God's just throwing people, blacks and Arabs over there. It's totally destroyed the total makeup and culture of that. And a lot of this thought it could be a good thing. Back in the day, some of this forced. Things you can't force people to like each other. They're to hate each other. They want each other killed off. They don't want to coexist. They can't coexist. Because they're the way they live and the way that they think is totally different from the others. And you have more, liberal kind of people, in like Paris and stuff like that, in some of these countries. Then you have these radicals, Muslims are affecting it and destroying Sharia law. And it's a fucking cancer that has to be killed off. And I tell you about, religious, all kinds of, any type of religion that has extremists and stuff like that needs to be killed off and destroyed. And everything.
Government itself? Not just from like some private organization?
£1,000 less a year if you're white. Any other ethnicity and they'll pay you more. The fourth biggest police force in the UK.
Blocks white applicants to boost diversity. Encourages black and Asian candidates to apply early to become police constables before jobs opened up to others.
Banned white people from hiring. The biggest bank in Europe funded £2 million to 30 Oxford scholarships. And guess what are the qualifications to make it in?
Let me see what they were. To be eligible for the Stormzy Scholarship, one must have one of the following categories. You basically, so you have to be black, African, or black in one way or another. Yeah, this is, I actually...
Because it's black people, then it's not racist. There's something totally wrong with this. Racism that's happening in these countries here and other countries and everything.
I think this is what's going to radicalize people more than anything else, is like this like casual normalization of advantages provided to groups of people that somebody is not a part of.
The idea is that we see this future that is happening. I saw this 20, 25 years ago, etc. Way back, it's that everybody would interbreed. All colors would interbreed. You don't have this racism anymore. There still is. Still will be tribalism and factionism. There's still be people, there be black people saying that you're racist to other black people. In Africa, they have different tribes, they have different, tribes of black people kill each other off. There's racism and stuff like that. Or you have it, before in Ireland, there was the Catholics and the Protestants that hate each other while kill each other off. In other countries, the way it was before with whites and others, different, Slavs and stuff like that, that they hated, the Cossacks or whatever, different types of people, they hate each other. It doesn't matter. If people are one color, it doesn't matter. People are saying they hate each other.
I think that's what really radicalizes people faster than anything else.
I thought back then maybe this could work. I was one of the idiots that foresaw things and saw a possible future happening. And said this could be working its force. Because they don't have to get along. That's not the way people are. That is, they have their own religious, sociological, and political beliefs. It doesn't matter what color or skin color. They're still going to hate on each other dead sometimes. They do not want to get along. It's all about power. They want their tribe, they want their sect to have all the power and take out the other people and not let them have a say. You see it in the United States as well, with extremists there and other type of sects of Islam. And there isn't just one sect of Islam, there are many different sects and tribes of Islam as well in these Arab countries. And they hate each other as well. Christianity has their own different sects as well. And they, say, our God's better than yours. And stuff like that. For people are killing each other over fake religions. The biggest
It's absurd. It
broadcasting
is.
platform in
Absolutely
Europe
absurd.
banned white people from applying for a trainee role. Not one, but two members of the Scottish government stood up in front of Parliament and complained about how there was too many white people in and about every role and job and position, even when there's 17 times the amount of people of colour in UK Parliament today than there was in 19. Their stupid Islamic beliefs. They'll come into our countries and teach. I have some tribal as well. There's stuff I hate about white people as well. So it's like, before people start saying racist, shut the fuck up. 1987.
Yeah, of course.
The UK police force has.
See, this is, I think, the reason why you see a lot of white identity politics that have happened now. It's because a lot of these racial groups have been playing identity politics games and racial identity games forever. And now you have people like, Nick Fuentes fans, etc., that are like, okay, well, if you're going to play the game, we're also going to play the game. And now you have everybody that's playing the identity politics game. And I think this is a bad thing. Like, I know that identity matters and people want to have their identity reinforced and everything like that. But the moment that you start adding privileges and benefits to being of an identity, well, then you're going into very dangerous territory. And I think
you should be proud of who you are. You should love who you are, what color you are, etc. And everything. And No other race did that. Now there's ways that the white people dominated to the white side of the religion did to Native Americans. That's the difference. I could go back in history. I could go back in time, thousands of years, and walk back and stuff like that. But, there's also a train of thought, but it's like, they is, there's slavery, black people also enslaved black people. It still happens in some countries. They still do that shit in Africa, stuff like that. And slavery still happens in, Eastern Europe. There's, sex trade, human trafficking, Latin America, slavery, and stuff like that. You don't hear about that. You only hear about white Syria. It's very fixed. And people are brainwashed and everything.
That's very clearly what's going on here, right? They might not like it. Yeah, people are not going to like whenever everybody has a racial identity, especially whenever it's the majority race has a racial identity. Because when they do that, they're going to get together and make decisions that are disadvantageous for racial minorities, right? That's what's going to happen. And I think that something like, the American equality, at least to the extent that we have it, can only really exist to the extent that people don't see themselves as a race first. They have to see themselves as Americans first.
I think that's the reason why liberals in Hollywood and TV put black people with white people on all these shows is to, get people to intermarry, and so there could be all this hate and stuff like that. No matter what you do, so to try to force things, though, that's not going to happen. There's still be tribalism, there's still be people, there's still be a minority, there's to be a majority, there's to be people that want the bigger piece of the pie, there are people that want all that power. They want to disenfranchise others. They want to force people to act and be a certain way. By force, if happened. It doesn't matter if people are color and everyone intermarries and stuff like that. And that's what they that.
And then as that race second. And I think that to the extent that they make decisions based off of racial boundaries, you're going to basically have, again, an ethno-state in a long enough time frame, right? That's what's going to happen.
Spent 15 million trying to lower the number of white people they employ.
It's going to
the
happen,
Royal Air Force got their emails leaked in which applicants were described as useless white males. God forbid they would have replaced the word white with anything else. Non-white people who apply for NHS jobs have their CV shortlisted, so being white means it's slower and less likely you get the job. White people have become a minority in at least 8 out of 51 English cities, and this number's kept increasing since 2001. White British children are now a minority in 1 in 4 schools. So now they're disappearing from our education system. 50% of all victims in racial attacks since 2006 has been white. Former member of the Labour government, Naz Shah, liked and retweeted a post on Twitter that said white girls who have been abused and exploited by Pakistani men should shut their mouths for the sake of diversity.
This is why I kept saying that I think the EU is going to elect somebody that's really bad pretty soon. I think this is...
I think it's too late for even, white people to revolt that have been there forever. I think they're too scared. And I see people become pussies nowadays. The younger generations have been brainwashed into hating white people as well. And brainwashing in schools to children, saying it's all white people, it's not all bullshit. The big slave owners were actually black people as well, that were black slaves. thing, and it's just crazy how bad it's gotten. But I think it's too late. The destruction has been done. They're already there.
It's radicalizing so many people. It's radicalizing a lot of people, and I think that by the time everybody realizes it and they cut out doing this stuff, I think it's going to be too late. I do, and I think you can see the reaction, just very, very recently, the reaction to, like, for example, like Ben Shapiro's video that he did yesterday talking about how bad Nick Fuentes was, and it's like Nick Fuentes talking about, like, all the racist stuff and sexist stuff, and then all of the comments are just agreeing with him. They're just agreeing. They're like, yeah, we actually do feel this way about, like, black people or about, like, Muslims or something like that. And I think that whenever you're in that situation, and they've put themselves in that situation.
That's what I say, these religious because they're fake. They're not about the true God, about stuff like that. It's that I believe people have a right to believe what they want to believe, unless they try to force other people, to change to their beliefs. That's a blood red line that you should fight them off. That's where you should fight back. I don't care if people believe as long as they don't try and change me how I think, because I know better than they do. I know a lot more than these idiots that believe these fake gods do.
They've put themselves there. That's it. By playing these games, by doing this stuff, it is totally radicalized people. Absolutely. It's not radicalism. It's dishonest to say it. It's a response in defense to imposition. You're saying that, like, it's not radical because it's just people responding to what other people are doing to them? This is my outlook on it. I think this is radical, and I think they're radical. I think all of this is radical. So, but you're right, is that it is a radical response to a radical action.
Test bosses now have to explain why they hired a white person. 12-year-olds are getting singled out and expelled from school for wearing clothing that celebrates British culture on Culture Day.
Oh, school apologized too. That means they said they're wrong.
The highest paid female footballer in the UK was caught on camera calling a police officer stupid and white. The UK government have attempted to ban the British flag to stop white British people.
I've seen this a lot recently.
Being proud and celebrating their culture, but every single other.
This is why they got your ass kicked if you would. This thing is that their generations of pussies. I just don't have respect for the other people, how fucked up it has gotten. I mean, the old days, you could have gotten your ass kicked. I just hate how fucked up people have gotten allowed this shit. I have no respect for people allowed this shit to happen. I just don't, I just want to further withdraw from Cubans because I've lost respect and don't revolt and take down the government by force and burn it to the ground. That's what they should do. Our founding fathers today become terrorists. Our founding fathers become terrorists today. It is their liberators. They're liberators. But if